Hey guys, real quick, before I start this review, I just wanted to show my love and respect to Lady Red, who we unfortunately lost this past week. Such a prominent figure in the drag community and West Hollywood. You know, you'd see her every time you go out, and she was the heart and soul of Hey Queen TV, which is such a great show, and it's not going to be the same without her. So we just lost a huge prominent figure in the drag community and just the LGBTQIA plus community as well. So I'm also putting in the description the link to her help GoFundMe to lay her to rest properly. It's just so sad, you know. It's just so sad, but we love you, Lady Red. Sending our love, our thoughts, our condolences, our respect to you, your family, your loved ones, Johnny McGovern, and Hey Queen TV. What's up, everyone? It's Ollie here with another Canada's Drag Race review, episode 5, Snatch Game, finally! Okay, so let's start off this episode real quick with the whole Ilona and Priyanka drama. Because I'm thinking, Ilona, why are you always crying, but no tears are coming out? Like, she's crying. She's crying in the confessional, she's crying on stage, she's crying in the workroom. But where are the tears? Where are the tears? And I really like her. You know what? She actually looks a lot like Kim Petras to me. Did anyone see that connection? Am I the only one? Anyway, and then like her and Priyanka getting into it, but I was here for what Priyanka had to say. Ilona, girl, you come to this competition, you're gonna have to send bitches home possibly. You're gonna have to lip sync. You have to do it. Commit. It's cutthroat. It's a competition. It's only gonna get fewer and fewer of you each week after week. So this week's mini challenge was a reading challenge, and it ends up being Jimbo, Lemo. Who the hell's Lemo? Yeah, it definitely was Jimbo, Lemon, and Rita for tops. For me. But I have to say, if I had to pick the winner, I'd have to give it to my girl Rita, because Rita read Brooklyn down. She kind of destroyed Brooklyn, and I was here for it. So honorable mention to Rita, but ended up Lemon winning this challenge. But yeah, that was just so good. That was so good because Brooklyn is such a talented queen, Miss Continental, but yet her weakness and her season of Drag Race was Snatch Game and comedy. She just didn't really excel in any of those. And so the tables have turned for her as well. She did a full circle moment. 2 years ago, bombing Snatch Game. 2020, hosting Canada's Drag Race and hosting Snatch Game. So this was a good week because we got more screen time for Jimbo. Jimbo's kind of been just on the sideline for the most part, but it comes to find out, I'm gonna burp. Come to find out, Jimbo was kind of like bullied growing up and made fun of for being weird and different, and Jimbo kind of learned to just embrace that, and Jimbo loves making people laugh, and Jimbo just honed in on her weirdness and her comedic roots and kind of just made everyone laugh one day at school, and everyone was just here for it. And that's when Jimbo found her love of just performing and making people laugh through a joke, even just something. And I found that very inspiring and beautiful. Just embrace your weirdness, and people will see that and love that for you. And I think that's why so many people love Jimbo. And honestly, we're kind of weird. Like, people are weird, and people don't like to admit that they're weird. And sometimes people make fun of weird people because they see their weirdness in other people, and they just want to like target them and put all the negative attention on them, whereas they're even weirder than them. Am I making sense? But yeah, we're all weird, and some people just need to learn that weirdness is what makes you different and beautiful. And also, Kiara gets a lot of screen time this episode. Well, kind of. In the workroom she does. And I'm thinking, Kiara's going home. So Kiara, come to find out, her father is kind of just not really sure about drag for Kiara. Sees it as more as a hobby. Whereas Kiara, this is my career. I love it. It's my passion, but it's my career. It's not just a hobby. And I was like, yes, Kiara. Because that's so true. Because look at where drag is now today. It's so mainstream with Drag Race going global. People love drag. They're finding it. And you could really make it out of a career. I mean, look at what the queens have been doing. Even during a pandemic, they're so innovative and are finding ways to continue doing drag for their fans. And you could really make a career out of it. So let's get on to Snatch Game performances real quick. I really enjoyed the Snatch Game first and foremost. There was only like maybe 2, 3 people that didn't do well. Other than that, everyone did great. So we'll start with Scarlett. She did Liza, who we've seen before. But yeah, she did well. This to me was a better Liza than what's her face? Alexis Michelle's Liza. I really like this one. I like that it was she kind of aged Liza even more, and just it was funny. She always had like something to say that was still in character. She didn't stumble, and I was like, yeah, Scarlett. And I really wanted her to be in the top this week because I don't remember last time Scarlett was in the top or if she's ever been in the top. So Scarlett girl, are you a top or not? But going on to Ilona, I'm so happy Ilona was still here because I love the Cock Destroyers. I love them. I love me some Rebecca Moore. So I'm so happy. Like, I'm like, wow, this is the first time someone's done Rebecca Moore, one of the Cock Destroyers. So she did great too. Wasn't the strongest at all, but still very solid performance. And I wanted even more from her. I love that her makeup was smearing. I love that we didn't see Ilona. And it was just a good... Finally, I'm like, oh, she's doing good, finally, performance-wise. Then Boa did Gypsy Rose, and I was bummed because I thought Boa had this challenge, but she held back. And Gypsy Rose is such a... I feel like you could do so much with that character. It's kind of like a little Edie character where not everyone knows it, but yet you could still find ways to make people who don't know who she is, you can still find ways to make it funny. It didn't go anywhere, unfortunately, and she didn't want to be offensive, but I'm like, girl, this is Snatch Game. Snatch Game is kind of like, it's borderline, you know, you can kind of take it there. I mean, like, there was Rita who was doing Edith, you know, there's people who do characters that have passed and can be perceived as kind of like, you know, offensive. I think her struggle with this week was that she had so many backups and was prepared for the looks, but wasn't prepared for the characters that she was going to do. Priyanka as Miss Cleo. Now, girl, you gotta be careful when you do these psychic characters. Like Raven, Jaden Dior Fierce when she did Raven Simone, didn't go anywhere. It could be very one note. And then I think, well, Alexis did Walter Mercado in All Stars, just this past All Stars. And that was good, but that was for a different format too. That was a Snatch Game of Love, whereas this is the typical format of Snatch Game. And I think, I don't know, I'm happy that we still saw Miss Cleo. We saw a character, but it just wasn't funny. Going on to the last person who was in the bottom for me was Kiara. And Kiara did Mariah Carey. I don't recall if anyone ever did Mariah Carey on Drag Race. But I just saw Kiara with a breastplate, you know? Like, I didn't even see... She didn't change, like, her makeup. It was just Kiara, and it was very unfortunate because she did so well in an acting challenge. But I think that's different. That's acting, whereas this is improvisation along with character impersonation. And finally, the tops of this week, Rita, Lemon, and Jimbo, which is so funny because those were the top 3 for the reading challenge. But I was so happy. Rita was in character 1,000%. She didn't flinch. You didn't even see Rita anymore. You saw she broke it down. Like, Edith started off like kind of in the moment, and then she just saw her slump over with her makeup smeared and her wanting pills, and it was just unnerving, but it was so brilliant. And I was like, damn Rita. Lemon did Jojo Siwa. Girl was looking exactly like Jojo, and it was scary. It was scary. And I'm thinking to myself, Lemon might win. This might be her second win because she really did go there. Like, I think that's such a good character. Like, you don't even have to know JoJo to find that funny at all. Like, she did great. And finally, Jimbo did Joan Rivers, a character that's never been done, and no, Mrs. Kasha Davis doesn't count for that mini challenge in season 7. And I was so pleasantly surprised that Jimbo blew it out of the water. And if she does not win this week, if Jimbo does not win this week for Snatch Game, the show is canceled, and I'll be pissed because I was so afraid that she wasn't going to win because there's been so many wins this season that I've just not agreed with. And this was like the first time that I really was just like completely behind every decision in the episode, and Jimbo freaking won. And I was like, oh. And then kind of going really, really quickly with the looks, I'm going to talk about Priyanka's look more in like the lip sync. I thought this week's runway was I think it's honestly because I'm not a huge Celine Dion fan. She's incredible. She's so talented. I will never take that away from her. But me, I just never have been that huge of a Celine fan, unfortunately. So I love Scarlett's look. I thought that was probably one of the best. Alana's, I liked it too, but I just saw Alana. Alana should have came in with like a brown wig to make it more Celine, because I just saw Alana. Like, the outfit was great. It wasn't exactly copy and paste, but she should have came out with a Celine brown wig. Like, what? I still love the outfit, but got lost in the fringe, and I like that she chose, like, I think it was a Met Gala look, but she got lost in the fringe. She kind of just looked like a jellyfish. Kiara, I think honestly Kiara's look would have been better if the ponytail was more on point, because that ponytail was just kind of like, it looked like a shrunken head. Like, her head looked like a shrunken head. You know how like how a shrunken head looks, a shrunken head, like her face was shrunken, whereas like the ponytail, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. I have to say, maybe the reasons why Rita and Lemon didn't win this week, which I'm glad, because Jimbo deserved this win regardless, was because Rita and Lemon's looks weren't that great. They weren't good Celine looks. I was very underwhelmed by Rita's. I thought Rita was going to come out in a gown or something, but I didn't. I like that she picked like an older Celine from, like, I think it was from the 80s or maybe late 90s. But that wig looked exactly like her Edith wig, and I just kept seeing Edith this week. So I didn't see Celine in her look, and she actually had a reveal. And I don't like reveals for like these nights have 1,000 looks. I just pick one look. Just pick a look. Pick a look. Lemons. Before we get to lip sync, this week's guest judge was Mary Walsh, and when I saw her walking down that runway, I'm thinking to myself, what is Roseanne doing here? Girl, I thought that was Roseanne at first, and I'm like, wait, Roseanne ain't Canadian. I used to be such a huge Roseanne fan, but until she became a Trump supporter and a racist. So sad, so sad. But Mary Walsh is cool. I'm not really familiar with her, but she did a great job. She was having fun. I'm here for these guest judges, these allies coming in, having fun on Canada's Drag Race. I'm all here for it. But where's Ally X? Finally, getting to the lip sync, it ends up being Priyanka and Kiara in the bottom. And I have to agree, and I'm actually really happy that this worked out, because we got to see Priyanka perform. Girl, before we talk about that, I wish, going back to Priyanka's look, because I didn't talk about it purposely, I wish Priyanka just came down on that runway just in the wedding dress. Didn't have to reveal that, because already I'm thinking, girl, save that reveal if you're lip syncing. Save it. Don't. And also because, like, it undermines the wedding dress. Like, that was great. That was beautiful. And who would have thought to do the wedding gown of Celine Dion? No, save it, because then when you revealed it during the lip sync, it wasn't that great. I mean, I like that she kind of like came down like the runway and like it was swaying. That was kind of cute, but it would have been like even more iconic if she would have just came out and we weren't expecting the final Celine look. But her ass probably didn't think she was in the bottom. She probably thought Bo was gonna be in the bottom. But let me tell you, Priyanka nailed that performance. Everyone's on Twitter's like, oh, like it should have been a double stay. No, she embodied that song, Priyanka. Kiara was trying to keep up, but she took her shoes off. I don't like that. Y'all. I think this just kind of solidified, if you're gonna go up to... I think this just solidified, if you're gonna face Priyanka, you better be ready, because Priyanka destroyed that lip sync and rightfully sent Kiara packing. But that was the episode, y'all. Y'all gotta tell me what you thought of the episode. What did you think? Who's going home next? Who's your favorite? Did I miss anything? Are you team Jeffrey? Are you anti-Jeffrey? Ooh, he's getting a lot of heat with those petitions, girl, and his commentary. But let me know what you thought. Until then, like, share, subscribe. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer. And until then, I'll see you next week for episode 6 of Canada's Drag Race. Bye.